One of the things that I think a lot of us are interested in knowing about is there a vaccine on the horizon?
That's the other thing we'll have to deal with next year because yeah, I want to actually close by addressing, and honestly, it's a shame that we don't have 2 or 3 hours spent together to talk about these things. Is that one of the things that you have heard by the questions is that you make observations, okay, that are real observations, where there are observations in tumors. Judah Folkman, the great Judah Folkman, as a pediatric surgeon, observed how rich cancers were with blood vessels, which led to the angiogenesis question. The observations about populations and their different diets and incidence of cancer is another observation. But to really move that into a place where it could really help people, you need scientific models that can be studied in the laboratory that are relevant to these issues, and then you get ideas in the laboratory, and then you move them out into clinical trials and actually into people. That epidemiology, which is making observations about sugar intake, for example, are very provocative, but they have to be brought into laboratories, such as Cliff is talking about, to make a difference. The angiogenesis idea generated from a surgeon who's operating, who's actually noting this, again, moving into the laboratories. And the vaccine is also a very real question, because as my colleagues are identifying abnormal molecules that may be important in the cancer process by a variety of techniques that you've already heard, really from essentially everybody up here, that these are potentially targets for the immune system to be able to attack to prevent the development of cancer or to treat cancer once it's present. And so all these things are related, and what relates them is careful observations of the real world, moving into the laboratory, and then moving from the laboratory out into clinical trials and eventually into clinical therapeutics. And that's what we're all about, and that's what BCRF is all about. And I'd like to close on that by saying thank you all for being here, for supporting this, and for being such good friends.